Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. Amid emerging differences between the United States and its allies on Ukraine conflict, President Donald Trump's close advisor and Department of Government Efficiency chief Elon Musk has publicly supported the withdrawal of the US from both NATO and the United Nations. Last month, Senator Lee of Utah introduced the Disengaging Entirely from the United Nations Debacle Fund, that is Defund Act. In the act, Lee proposed a complete US withdrawal from the UN, alleging that the world body is a platform for tyrants that attack America and its allies and has not been able to stop wars, genocides, human rights violations, and pandemics despite all its funding. Musk had supported Lee's stand, noting in a post of X that the US provides way too much funding to the United Nations and associated entities. This is not the first time that Musk has questioned the US membership in NATO, which last month only he termed anachronist and not relevant in the post Cold War era. He also questioned the rationale behind American taxpayers covering a significant portion of Europe's defense costs. He highlighted that the US pays for nearly 67% of NATO's military expenses, despite spending only 3.5% of its GDP on defense. Trump has also criticized NATO, urging members to increase defense expenditure and threatening to withdraw from it on the grounds that the US bears an unfair financial burden for European security. United States firm Firefly Aerospace achieved its first successful moon landing with the Blue Ghost spacecraft on 2nd of March, touching down near Mare Crisium. The uncrewed lander carrying 10 scientific payloads marks Firefly as the second private company to land on the moon, following Intuitive Machines' partial success last year. The spacecraft traveled 2.8 million miles over three loops around Earth before landing, beginning a 14-day research mission powered by solar panels. This milestone is part of the growing private sector competition in space exploration, with NASA's over $100 million contract supporting Firefly's efforts under Commercial Lunar Payload Services (CLPS) program. The mission precedes the US plans to send astronauts to the moon by 2027. Five nations have made successful soft landings in the past: the then Soviet Union, the United States, China, India, and last year, Japan. United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order designating English as the official language of United States. The order overturned a mandate from former President Bill Clinton, which required federal agencies and recipients of federal funding to assist non English speakers. Under the new directive, agencies will retain some flexibility in determining the level of support they offer in languages other than English. The new executive order emphasizes that English has been used as a national language since the founding of republic, with key historical documents such as Declaration of Independence and Constitution written in English. The order further says that designating English as the official language will promote unity, enhance communication, and create more cohesive society. Pink City, Jaipur hosted the 12th Regional 3R and Circular Economic Forum in Asia and Pacific. This 3-day event kicked off at the Rajasthan International Centre, Jaipur. The forum focused on realizing circular societies towards achieving SDGs and carbon neutrality in Asia Pacific. Union Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs Manohar Lal inaugurated the event in presence of Honorable Chief Minister of Rajasthan Bhajanlal Sharma. This forum aimed to provide strategic policy inputs to the government authorities in Asia Pacific region for maintaining 3R, that is reduce, reuse and recycle, and circularity, and serve as a platform for disseminating and sharing best practices in 3R. The takeaway of the 12th Regional Forum were the Jaipur Declaration for 2025 to 2034. The Jaipur Declaration aimed to provide participating countries with a framework for developing 3R and circular economic policies and programs. Agreement for 18 cities were signed in events to activate the CITIS 2.0 program, which includes integrated waste management projects. In a significant verdict, the Supreme Court held that visually impaired person cannot be denied the opportunity of employment in judicial services. A bench comprising Justices J.B. Pardiwala and R. Mahadevan had reserved the judgment on a sixth petition. Pronouncing the verdict, Justice Mahadevan said that the persons with disabilities must not face any discrimination in their pursuit to judicial services recruitment and that the state must provide them with affirmative action to ensure an inclusive framework. The apex court struck down a provision in the Madhya Pradesh Judicial Services Recruitment and Conditions of Services Rules 1994, barring visually impaired and low vision candidates from judicial services in the state, and underlined the importance of ensuring substantive equality. India and Nepal signed a memorandum of understanding in New Delhi to enhance cooperation in the water sanitation, hygiene sector, and waste management. The primary agenda of the agreement is to promote collaboration between the two nations and strengthen intergovernment cooperation in the water, sanitation, and hygiene sectors, ensuring better access to clean drinking water and sanitation for their populations. Speaking at the event, Minister of Jal Shakti C.R. Patil emphasized that the MOU reflects the understanding, the shared commitment of both countries towards public health, sustainability, and regional cooperation. The MOU marks a new chapter in India Nepal partnership, ensuring that both countries work together for well being of the people and for a sustainable future. The ambitious India Middle East European Corridor IMEEC gained significant momentum following high level discussions between India and UAE officials in Abu Dhabi this week, marking a major step forward for the transcontinental connectivity project. A delegation led by T.K. Ramachandran, Secretary of India's Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, held talks with Mohammad Juma Al Samisi, CEO of Abu Dhabi Ports. The Indian delegation included Ambassador Sanjay Sudhir and senior officials from RITES Limited, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, and Deen Dayal Port Authorities. The IMEEC, launched during the G20 summit in New Delhi in September 2023, is a transcontinental connectivity initiative with signatories including India, UAE, USA, European Union, Saudi Arabia, France, Italy, and Germany. Together, these nations represent nearly 50% of the global GDP. A key focus of the discussion was the Master Application for International Trade and Regulatory Interference (MAITRI), which was launched during Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan's visit to India in September 2024. MAITRI aims to integrate existing trade portals from both countries, providing seamless and paperless connectivity. The UAE segment of corridor will terminate at Guaifat on UAE Saudi Arabia border, from where a rail link will transport cargo through Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and into Israel. The project's strategic importance was recently underscored during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with US President Donald Trump, with the corridor featuring prominently in the joint statement issued after their discussions. The Government of India has approved the development of Sonprayag to Kedarnath ropeway with a length of 12.9 kilometers. Briefing media in New Delhi this week, Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said the total cost of the project will be over 4,000 crore rupees. He said this ropeway will reduce the journey from 8 to 9 hours to 36 minutes for the pilgrims. He said the project will help the Divyang and old people in an immense way. The minister also informed that Hemkund Sahib ropeway will be developed. He said the total cost of the project will be 2,730 crore rupees. He said the length of the ropeway will be 12.4 kilometers. Mr. Vaishnav said the government has taken a decision for livestock health and disease prevention with the cost of 3,880 crore rupees. He also said that the vaccination program will be a major thrust area for this program. He said good quality and affordable generic veterinary medicines will be provided to Pashu Jan Aushadhi along with this in the event. Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari and Minister of New and Renewable Energy Prahalad Joshi flagged off the first ever trials of hydrogen powered heavy duty trucks in New Delhi. Mr. Gadkari said that hydrogen is the fuel of the future, with immense potential to transform India's transportation sector by reducing emissions by enhancing energy self reliance. Union Minister Prahalad Joshi said that India is striving to become global leader in a green hydrogen production and utilization. With an allotment of 19,744 crore rupees, the National Green Hydrogen Mission aims to establish India as a key player in hydrogen production, storage, and application across various sectors. The minister also outlined India's ambitious 2030 targets, which includes producing 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen annually and installing 60 to 100 gigawatt of electrolyzer capacity. Arab leaders have approved a $53 billion reconstruction plan for the Gaza that aims to avoid displacing Palestinians from the enclave. The plan was accepted at the closing of an emergency Arab summit in Cairo last week with full support from participating Arab leaders. The plan includes the establishment of a seaport and an airport in the Gaza Strip and the recycling of the rubble left by destruction in Gaza. Arab leaders demanded that Israel should completely withdraw from the Gaza Strip, including the Philadelphia corridor between Gaza and Egypt. However, Israel rejected the plan, reiterating Israel's support for Trump's plan. He said Arab leaders failed to address the attacks on October 7th and the aftermath it caused in Israel. Department of Social Justice and Empowerment DOSJE Secretary Amit Yadav said that the fundamental purpose of government service is to bring meaningful change to the people's lives. Mr. Yadav said this while inaugurating the Rashtriya Karmayogi Jan Seva program at Dr. Ambedkar International Center in New Delhi. The Rashtriya Karmayogi Jan Seva program features four short training sessions to encourage open discussion, teamwork, and practical problem solving through service oriented narratives among the government officials. The secretary said that the program serves as a reminder of this fundamental purpose that officials may lose sight of over time through daily routines and limited citizen interaction. He emphasized that the citizens' interaction is at the heart of a governance and that how officials engage with the public, address concerns, and resolve issues play a pivotal role in effective administration. He highlighted that every action taken by public servant contributes to the nation's progress. Sahitya Academy will organize its annual Festival of Letters, Sahityaotsav, Asia's largest literature festival, from this week till 12th of March. This 6-day event was inaugurated by Union Minister for Culture Gajendra Singh Shekhawat at the Ravindra Bhavan in New Delhi. Over 700 writers from different parts of the country representing more than 50 languages participated in the festival. In this festival, the prestigious Sahitya Academy will be presented in 23 languages. This event will feature nearly 120 sessions. The theme for this festival is Indian literary traditions. It will feature young writers, women writers, Northeast and tribal writers, LGBTQ writers, and poets, alongside renowned writers, translators, publishers, poets, and distinguished personalities from various fields. The Festival of Letters is open and free for all literary lovers and those who wish to experience the flavor of India's longest running literature festival. The 86th India Bangladesh Joint River Commission held its first meeting in Kolkata on 6th of March. The 11 member Bangladeshi team held a detailed discussion with their Indian counterparts. A technical committee has been formed. This committee met the next day and recommended details on which the future of the Ganga River Water Sharing Treaty will depend. At present, the current Ganga River Water Sharing Treaty with Bangladesh will expire next year after completing 30 years. The team will also give recommendations on sharing the water of other rivers that flow into the Bangladesh from India. The 11 member Bangladeshi team had already visited the Farakka barrage in Mushirabad earlier this week and inspected the water distribution mechanism. They expressed their satisfaction with the water distribution through Ganga Padma River water formula. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met his Ireland counterpart Simon Harris in Dublin. Both ministers discussed India Ireland bilateral cooperation, including a new action plan to reinvigorate ties. They agreed to set up a joint economic commission to increase trade, investment, and technology linkages. Both leaders exchanged views on the recent development in their respective regions and globally, including the Ukraine conflict, West Asia, Afghanistan, and the Indo Pacific. They also spoke about the Indo European Union cooperation and multilateralism. The External Affairs Minister also met the Indian community in Dublin and shared with them the high appreciation of the Irish leadership had for their contributions. In his address, Dr. Jaishankar also spoke about the transformation underway in India and the can do spirit of Indian youth. He said the diaspora will have a crucial role in its journey towards Viksit Bharat. The Ministry of Defense has signed a contract with Rosoborono Export of Russia worth 248 million US dollars for the procurement of 1000 HP engines for T-72 tanks. According to the Ministry of Defense, the deal also includes the transfer of technology from Rosoboron Exports to Armored Vehicle Nigam Limited for integration and licensed production of engines to boost the Make in India initiative in the defense sector. The T-72 is the mainstay of the tank fleet in Indian Army, which is at present fitted with the 780 horsepower engine. Equipping the existing fleet of T-72 tanks with 1000 HP engines will enhance the battlefield mobility and offensive capability of the Indian Army.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.